At QUIN'S popular restaurant. "What's your order, sir?" the waitress said, passing Bryan a seductive wink, while Samantha fumed. "What do you want to eat, babe?" Bryan asked, and Samantha smirked, "Braised pork with rice." "I want the same," Bryan added. And the waitress walked away, shaking her butt left and right, but Bryan's attention was on Samantha's face. "I thought you said today is your little brother's birthday," Samantha muttered when it clicked into her brain. "That little devil wants only my mum to take him out. He doesn't want me near him." Bryan scoffed, remembering the incident. Flashback. "Happy birthday, Nathan!" Mr. and Mrs. Quinn with Bryan clapped as they wished him a happy birthday. "We are leaving town to celebrate your birthday, what do you say?" Mrs. Quinn said, and little Nathan jumped up happily, clapping his small fingers together. "Bryan, let's go," Mrs. Quinn muttered, and Bryan frowned. "Mama, I don't want him to come." Nathan squeezed his face while Bryan winked at him. "Who said I wanted to go?" Bryan scoffed, and what he felt next was something being poured on his face. It was slimy and sticky. An egg! "You little brat, why the fuck are you holding an egg? And why my handsome face?" Bryan yelled. All he could see was fire. Fire! Then Nathan began to cry, pointing at Bryan's face. "Mama, Brother Bryan made me to throw my egg." Nathan sobbed, while Mrs. Quinn cast a deadly glare at Bryan. "Wait here!" Mrs. Quinn dropped Nathan on the floor and grabbed a flower vase before throwing it at Bryan's direction, but Bryan dodged it and it broke into pieces. Then Bryan's phone began to ring. He ran to his room with his phone and answered the call when he saw the name. "My love." To get to Samantha's house, he actually followed the window, but he washed his face before going. Flashback ends. Samantha held onto her stomach as she laughed at Bryan's angry face. "Your little brother really feels that seeing your face is annoying." Samantha laughed while Bryan rolled his eyes. "Is the other way round, dummy? Seeing that little brat's ugly face every morning is annoying." Bryan squeezed his face. "Wait! Who are you calling dummy? Me?" Samantha asked, her face changing, but it doesn't look scary but cute. Bryan placed his finger on her lips and brought his head closer. "Don't give me that look." Bryan smirked, and Samantha's cheeks reddened. "You chicken!" Samantha pushed his hands off her cheeks and glared at him. "You're calling me chicken, when a lot of girls out of there will die just to get a kiss from me," Bryan muttered. "Here's your order, sir." The waitress muttered and placed the tray on top of their table, showing her surgical beak, and Samantha couldn't hold in anymore. She stood up and glared at the girl. "You're fired!" "You were lucky I'm not in the mood to slap." Samantha smirked, and the girl chuckled. "You aren't the one that employed me here, so you can't fire me," she muttered arrogantly. "But my boyfriend is the one that built this restaurant. I can tell him to fire you and also make sure you don't get any job from any place in Korea," Samantha muttered, and she scoffed. "You're trying to gain fame by lying that Bryan Quinn is your boyfriend, huh?" She muttered, and Bryan stood up, walking to where they were, and drawing Samantha closer to him by her waist. "So you're working as an ordinary waitress in my restaurant and have the audacity to insult my girlfriend right in front of me. Not only that, you tried to seduce me," Bryan scoffed. Staring at her disgustedly. "Sir Bryan, I'm sorry I didn't mean to insult your girlfriend. Please forgive me." She begged, and Bryan raised an eyebrow. "No need to beg. Begging is pointless. You're fired." Bryan muttered, and some security guards barged in and dragged the screaming lady away. Samantha stuck out her tongue at her and shaked her butt a little before sitting on her chair. They are in a private hall. "Hope she hasn't poisoned the food," Samantha muttered, glaring at her favorite food. "But if it is your favorite, you can't hold yourself in for a very long time." So she grabbed a fork and began to eat, ignoring Bryan's gaze. "It felt nice seeing you jealous," Bryan muttered, and Samantha frowned. "I wasn't jealous, just warning her to stay on her lane," Samantha muttered. "The way you shaked your butt was so damn sexy." Bryan smirked, and Samantha, who wanted to drink the orange juice, ended up pouring it out from her mouth. But Bryan shifted a little, making some to sprinkle on his jacket. "Oops, sorry, you were lucky it didn't pour in your face," Samantha muttered, and Bryan stared at the stains and sighed. At Jeremy's mansion, Jeremy frowned as Andy and Adrian bursted into laughter. "Fuck you two! Can't you see I'm in a fucking dilemma?" Jeremy scattered his hair with his palm. "Congratulations, Jerry, for getting someone pregnant when you're still in high school." Andy grabbed his hand forcefully and shaked him. "But it's actually your fault. Did you wear condoms when you were fucking her?" Adrian muttered, and Jeremy glared at him. "Nope. I have never touched her. She is too plain for my liking," Jeremy said, and Adrian raised an eyebrow. "I could have said as a conspiracy, but the girl is really pregnant, but I never touched her. I remembered all the girls I touched, but I have never—" Jeremy paused and pulled his hair frustratedly. "This is really confusing. Put your life in God's hands, because it's only Him that knows your problem." Adrian added, and everyone stared at him with wide eyes, like he is an alien. "Ask Bryan, because I need to meet someone," Andy said. "Me too," Adrian muttered. "Who is that person you're meeting, because it's rare to see you like this?" Jeremy asked Adrian. "Lily?" Adrian muttered and walked away. "Lily?" "Do you know where I can find bag of flying roaches?" Jeremy asked, and Andy scoffed. "Leave your house dirty for 2 weeks," Andy muttered. "Is for Mandy, right?" "You want to kill the baby," Andy added. "Oh, right. She is pregnant. I almost forgot," Jeremy muttered. "Good luck, dude. Marry her, okay?" "Hmm? Fool, you're not helping matters," Jeremy yelled after him.